There it is.
So, we got the bass in the pond. I am soaked. Works awesome. We are back. Part 2 of finishing this right here pond enclosure. We are going to build the door for the front. It's going to be a bifold style garage door. So it'll be 2 panels right here. They're going to fold up like this. Done. But yeah, the fish are outgrowing the fish tank really bad, so we need to get this knocked out and get all the rest of the fish moved into here pretty bad. So let's get going on it and I'll explain as we go. So the plan is basically build it like a garage door, but it's a horizontal bifold garage door instead of like the one that you're used to seeing. So it will be 2 long panels all the way across here, horizontal like this. It's going to open up like this. So we got these garage door tracks. I already cut them to length. They are going to mount to the inside here and over there. And then we have the rollers. So on the top, there will be a roller that is fixed. And then we have the 2 panels, and the panels are going to be connected in the middle with hinges. And this roller won't move on the top. It's just basically a spot where the top can pivot. And then on the bottom, the roller, we're going to have like a cable tied to it and a winch that pulls it up. So on the bottom, the roller will just slide up and everything will pinch and just open. I don't know, it's going to be easier to just show you than explain it all. I'm not good at explaining stuff. But yeah, so we got to get these mounted to here and then build our 2 panels and then get the rollers and stuff all hooked up. We just got a bunch of garage door hardware. These brackets are kind of huge and overkill for this. So we may cut them and modify them just to make it all work and a little bit less ugly if possible. But yeah, let's get these mounted up and then we'll start working on building the panels. It should not be that complicated, but I say that every time and it always Okay, so we're getting there. We're making progress on this. We got both the frames all framed out, and then you can see this one sitting over here, and then this one I got all skinned with the mesh, so it looks super good. But the problem is we have run out of washers, so I need to go get more washers, and I do not have time today. Things have been crazy lately, guys. I quit my job, started a new job this week. So I've been trying to work on all this stuff after work and stuff when I have time, and it has just been super hectic, and I got family stuff going on later. So we decided we want to get some of the fish out of the fish tank regardless. So we decided we're going to get the peacock bass, and we're going to put them in the pond real quick because they're not going to jump, so this does not need to be totally completed to keep them safe, just the arowana mostly. So I'm going to have to finish the rest of this after work when I have time to go get some more washers. But in the meantime, we're going to take a couple hours real quick, and a couple of my friends are coming over. We're going to head to the house. We're going to go get some peacock bass. We're going to put them in their new home. So it's cool. I'm excited to get some fish in here, especially the peacock bass. They're going to be really cool in here. So yeah, let's hurry, get this kind of somewhat cleaned up in here, rush to the house, get a cooler, get everything ready with the aquarium, and get some fish in the pond. Can't wait. All right, we're getting ready to get the bass. Another reason we wanted to move the bass over first is so it's less of a shock on the system. With 2,000 gallons, I don't think it's gonna matter, even if I put all the fish in at once, but just in case, we'll get the bass over there, let them chill for a week or 2, and then finish the enclosure, and then we'll bring the arowana over, let them chill for a little while, and then the stingray and the catfish last. So we're filling up our tub right here. It's kind of hectic. But yeah, I'm going to swoop all them up out of here, get them in here, then we'll go over to the greenhouse and talk about it a little more. This is not going to go good. Hey guys, remember me? Your good old friend? Get the big guys out of here.
There it is. Come down.
You can see him.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's so good. It's a black. I can't even see them.
Okay, we got the bass all loaded up. We're gonna head to the greenhouse real quick and try to get them in before there's any problems. I hate moving bass, but let's get it done. Okay, we're gonna get the bass all acclimated. We're gonna run the little air diffuser while they acclimate, because this is all tap water. The tank at home is run off filtered water, so I probably would just temperature acclimate them and throw them in, but because of the filtered water and the tap water, I'm gonna like drip acclimate them for a little bit. I'm out of breath. We'll get them going, get them in there, see how they do. Alright, so the bass seem to be doing good. They're all swimming around in there. We're doing a live stream on Instagram too, so bear with me while I talk on both of them. But yeah, we're just gonna acclimate them for a little bit longer, get them all ready to go, and put them in there and see how they do. So pretty simple. He's free. There we go. Yeah, they're pretty big, but it's crazy. So here's one of them. You see him. I've never lipped a peacock bass like this before. I feel like I'm fishing again, but it's crazy how much bigger they are, like in person, than they look in the tank. They look huge out here.
I don't know if he's going to like them or not. He just chased one out of his spot.
Alright, we got the bass in the pond. They seem to be doing good. The Lutias pleco is chasing them quite a bit. So he's used to being by himself, so we're going to have to monitor that and watch pretty closely. But we're going to keep an eye on them for a while. Like I said, I'm done working on things for today, so give me a little break and we will be back, finish this garage door, and then we can get ready to have the rest of the fish. So I'll add some more clips of the bass later this evening when the glare is not so bad. Yeah, let's get back to work. Got the doors built, so this is the two doors, basically one here, one there, obviously. Now we just got to get them all mounted up. So what we decided, since these are garage door tracks, we're going to use these garage door rollers, and then we're going to use these little bracket things. I don't even know what they're normally used for, but we're going to modify them a little bit, cut this and drill some new holes. and these will just mount one on each side on the top, and then one on each side on the very bottom. And then this will go through that, obviously, like this, and mount it. So we'll have one roller on each side on the top, one on each side of the bottom, and then the two doors will be connected with a bunch of these little flat black hinges. So we're just gonna screw all this stuff into the T-nuts, just like we did everything else. And these are not that heavy, so I think all those little screws and stuff will be plenty strong enough. But yeah, so now we gotta figure out how to mount this top one. I think we decided we're just gonna run a bolt through here to pretty much stop this from coming down. And then that's how the top one will hang on, because we don't really want all the weight hanging from the top of the enclosure, and it has to be able to hinge a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna figure that out, get this all mounted up, and then we'll hook the bottom piece on, and then figure out how to make it open and close. So I can't see, the sun's in my face as always. The top piece is all mounted on. Now we just gotta get the bottom piece. So we already got the hinges attached to the top. You can see this can just swing freely. It's mounted up there on the rollers. So it's probably gonna be a pain, but time to attach this to this, and then the rollers on the bottom, and then that's basically it. So I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this yet, but we're gonna figure it out. Alright, it is done. So, well, it's not completely done, but the door is done. This is what it looks like. One thing is this wobbles like both directions. So I think we're gonna try to find some hinges or something that only open one way to put on each edge. That way it can't go backwards like this. Or when we hook up the winch or whatever, we'll just keep the line a little bit tight so it's always folded out just a little bit. Because I don't want the winch to go pull it up and then go backwards like that and break it. But yeah, that's an easy problem to fix. So next we're going to work on that and then getting the winch or whatever hooked up. Because I want this to be automated, so I can just push a button or hold a button or something and it all opens up. But you guys can finally see how it works. Well, it works if I can open it even, but yeah, it works great. We just gotta automate it somehow, and it's really not that heavy at all. This aluminum stuff is awesome. We're gonna start using this stuff a lot more. Alright, let's try that again. So that just happened because I'm like pulling it up uneven, sloppily right now. When we have the cable tied to it, it'll go to each corner, so it'll pull up both sides evenly. So that won't be a problem, because that obviously would be a problem. But trying to pinch my fingers. But yeah, this is done. It looks good. Now we just need to get it automated, so let's get that all figured out. And then we will be ready to put the rest of the fish in, which we may or may not do. So let's get this automated or put the fish in. I don't know what's going on. Let's go. So the plan to automate it is use this electric hoist motor that I got from Harbor Freight. So that will be what does all the heavy lifting. Well, it's not really heavy, but does the lifting. And then to make that work, we're going to use a combination of steel wire, braided steel cable, and then some little eyelets, some pulleys, and then we had to custom make some little brackets. I just used flat iron and cut them and painted them. And that is how we'll mount everything up. It's going to be hard to explain right now, so I'm just going to get all the mounts done, and then when we start running the cable through the pulleys and stuff, you'll see why. But basically it goes up through pulleys, and then the motor is going to be over by the filters and everything out of the way, and then I'll have a little switch that I can push, open it, and close it. So let me get everything hooked up, and we'll go from there. So the mounts are done. You can see we got our eyelets there with the cable connected on both sides. There's one over there too. And then they run up to the pulleys. So this one runs up to this pulley, and then the wire runs across. This one runs to this pulley, and then they both just go through the mesh into this little double pulley thing. I had to build a little custom bracket for that to work. And then these come down right here. And then the motor is going to mount to the wall right there. I was going to mount it on top, right over here, but it's not going to be able to open the door all the way, so we got to mount it down on the wall. So now I just got to get that mounted, and then hook the cables up to the cable on the motor, and then hook up the switch, and it should be all automated. So let me set this down real quick, and I'll show you how it works so far. So now we got our cables all hooked up. that's how it's gonna work. So we pretty much just need to automate it now. Just get the motor hooked up, get these hooked up, and it'll be all done. But it's gonna be pretty awesome. So let's get going on that so we can see how it works. Alright, it is done. So it works great, but we had to make a couple tweaks and adjustments to make it smoother. We had to move that side out a little bit, and then we took more of the straight connectors for the aluminum and just put them here to keep this from going too far back. So it just hits the track right there. But works awesome. Pretty much exactly what I envisioned. The only thing is, here I'll show you. So when you first open it, when it pulls the slack out, it's kind of jerky. See, like that. So I'm not sure what to do about that. So for now, I just pull this out a little bit, and then it works just fine. So if you guys have any ideas of how to easily fix that, let me know in the comments. If not, I'm just going to keep pulling it out. That's not too hard. And then I'm going to rewire this switch and move it to where it's in a little box right here, so I don't have this big old ugly thing hanging out. But yeah, little switch right here. Pull this out. I think it works awesome. Super happy with how it turned out. But you guys know what this means. This means we're ready for the rest of the fish now. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for the next video. We're going to get the arowana, the tigrinus cat. We're going to put them in here. They're going to get to live their happy little lives in here. So let me know in the comments if you know a way to fix that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Watch for the next video.